Okay, because mine's almost dead anyway. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, it's Davina,
And Hobart, what's up?
and we wanted to come back and talk to you guys about our recent trip. We took a winter break and wanted to let you guys know how it went. So this is like our second live in the new year. That first time we came back, we only came for 30 minutes. We were on a time hack, and so we're good to go. All right. So, anyways, if you're in the chat, you guys are welcome to talk to us. We love the lives so that we can talk to the community. Also, if you're new to our channel, Hobart and I retired to the military. Retired from the military after 20 years, and we moved to the Philippines. Why Philippines? Well, my husband was born here, and he didn't move to America till he was 11. So we wanted to come back and raise our kids here in the Philippines so they could learn the language and the culture. So here we are. I can't scoot over. There's like a box here. Okay. I think Hobart went to go get his chair or something. But anyways, so recently we went back to Mabini. We really liked that resort, the one that was by the water. It is called Altamare. Oh, you went to go get some lights.
Yeah.
Okay. So Altamare, it was one of those resorts that kind of like took our breath away. It was everything we could ever dream of like a relaxing place with a great pool. And it was a very controlled environment for our children. So we went back there. And how was it for you that second time around?
It was good. I actually took advantage of those 271 stairs and used it as an exercise. So when we finally left Altamare, I took a whole like 5 trips from the rooms, and we were in the 400s this time.
Yeah, we were on the fourth floor.
In the fourth floor this time because we got like a bigger suite, one of the largest suite that they got there. And it took like 5 trips going back and forth, taking the puppies cage, all that stuff, just going back and forth, back and forth. It was nice. I kind of I appreciated the exercise, but at the end, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to shower again. So I took another shower right before we left the room. One thing that I appreciate about that place is like they allowed us to check out like 1 hour past the time.
I think most places let us check out 1 hour past the time. There was one spot at the Lose Lose Resort where they called us and were like, hey, you guys need to check out. And I mean, that place was empty. But we'll get to that. We'll talk to you guys about the Lose Lose Resort. So anyways, we spent some time in Mabini. We did go water, like island hopping. We went snorkeling, and we went on a family adventure, like looking at the area.
Yeah. So it was nice. I mean, like I think the first time we went there, Altamare, we kind of showcased what was on, like the hotel area, the snorkeling. This time, we actually went out to the ocean and snorkeled. We went island hopping. We went to 2 different islands. We went and snorkeled in like 15 and 20 feet deep water, which was like fun but scary at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I don't. I mean, I like the water, but this girl belongs on land. I like eating seafood. I love, coconuts, and I'm an island girl, but I fear what's in the water.
Yeah, I would say that's an understatement. She got in there, she looked down, she's like, whoop, nope. All right, Papa, it's your turn. So I was out there. I saw her face. I saw her face. She's like, oh. I was like, okay, I know what that means. She was scared. And I said, I'll take over. So I went out there, took over. But sometimes my kids react to my wife's reaction. And depending on what her reaction is that's how they'll see, like they'll fear it or not. So this time she hid her fear very well, but I noticed it. But I was like, okay, you know what, she's scared, I'll go out there. And all in all, it was a fun time. The kids did not notice that Divina was scared. I got in the water. I was like, "Come on, guys, let's go." With like to a point where we were jumping off the boat to like one of the, I don't know what that's called.
It was a rope.
It was a rope to the wooden part where it balances the boat. It wasn't like, this wasn't a speedboat. This was a like a local boat,
Yeah.
and it was nice. It was very beautiful. We spent about a good hour there snorkeling.
Yeah, and I would say that that experience is really like a 1 day trip kind of thing. You can go out, do it in for like, a 3 hour block and
Mhm.
be done. And really you want the rest of your day over with because it does take a lot of energy out of your body. We did it right before lunch. So I think we had breakfast and then we went out and like we experienced that.
I think that one thing I would change is get the snorkels early, go to the pool, practice using the snorkels in the pool so the kids can learn how to breathe through the
Hmm.
snorkel while they're swimming around in the pool. Because I didn't get a chance to do that, so I had to teach them while we were on the boat to do that before. My daughter knew because she went snorkeling in Aulani, Hawaii, Disney Resort, but my son hasn't done snorkeling in the past. So it was,
But our kids were so brave.
they
They
were
were so
so good.
brave out there in the water. Yeah.
And if you have not gone snorkeling before, right, your vision changes. Like you go underwater and everything just gets big, and it's like, oh my
Mm.
goodness, everything is up to your face. It could be like far away, but then when you put the snorkel on it, they could be like this close, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. But it was a nice experience. It was beautiful. The people who took us there were nice. I think they were chartered by the hotel.
Hmm.
I would encourage you guys to do that because I attempted to charter my own boat, but there are some inherent risks that come with that. One is like you don't know what those guys are capable of. But if the boat that you charter, which we did, is chartered by the hotel, then no issues at all. They'll take you back at a certain amount of time. You just pay the hotel directly instead of paying the people. Um, but they also gave us. They're like, hey, if you're gonna go on an island, it's gonna be 250 peso for the environmental fee. So every island that we went to,
That's per head.
per head. So we
So it's
spent
like $20 to land.
20 back,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Hmm.
it was nice. What about that? What the first island we went to, and we were
Okay, so we got to the first
the sea
island.
urchin. That's right.
Yeah, there was this man who offered to have us try sea urchin. Now, sea urchin is on my bucket list. Okay. And it has been on my bucket list for at least 4 or 5 years now. I've been trying to get to try some sea urchin. So that day, a man had a sea urchin, and I was like, okay, we trying this. Um, but see, I'm not very versed, or I really don't know what the heck I'm doing. So the first sea urchin that I tried was actually not a fresh sea urchin. It had a ugly taste to it,
It
and
was already open for like
it
an
had
hour.
been open for I don't know how long, right? And so I tried it, and I was like, ugh. And so then the guy was like, he opened up a new one, and he offered it to Hobart, and so I was like, let me try that because I'm trying to see if it's a different flavor, and it did have a very different flavor from that first one. So sea urchin has to be fresh. Like it needs to be fresh. So that was a good experience for me. I checked it off my list.
Yeah.
It's one of those foods that I'm not gonna go hungry out in the ocean. Okay. If there is sea urchin, I'm gonna eat it. All right. But is it my go-to? No, no. But this girl ain't going hungry. So
So I've tried oysters before. That was also my first time trying sea urchin, fresh. I would say I prefer oysters over the sea urchin because the sea urchin that we tried, it was just the sea urchin. The
yeah.
oysters, you can put like lime, you can put like hot sauce, you can do all that stuff and then eat it. But it all depends on how long it's been open, when you're going to consume it, what you're consuming it with. So the sea urchin that I had was fresh. Hers, unfortunately, was open like probably like an hour before,
Yeah.
and so she didn't like how the taste of the
It was
first one.
gross.
But the
Like,
second
but
one,
it was. I mean, I ate it, but it wasn't my favorite.
mhm.
I liked his better. Um. So right now, Hobart is trying to convince me to eat oysters, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Like I see them. They sell them on the side of the road. We're really close to the water in Tegupan. They've got mountains and mountains. I'm sure that they farm these oysters. And one of these days, we're gonna have to stop and try oysters. But for now, I just haven't been brave about it.
I mean, oysters are. I've had them before when I was younger, and so very salty.
Yeah.
At least the ones I remember.
So here's what I want to tell you guys about the island. Now, out in Mabini, there is a scam. Okay. And I posted the scam on some shorts. I got some remarks from people saying they're like, the locals don't scam people. I'm like, there's a scam.
That's what I'm eating, if you're wondering.
Okay. There is a scam out there. And so there's all these guys, they're all trying to sell the same stuff. All right. They're trying to sell these things, these jewelries, and they're telling you like, hey, this is it's real coral, this, that. Everybody's selling the same stuff. You ask him who made it. He's like, my father made this. Okay. They're all packaged the same. One guy opened up his coral, and you can see the stain on the cotton ball, like the cotton that it sits on. And I'm just like, that has been dyed. Okay. So in my mind, I'm already understanding that there's some kind of scam going on this mountain, on this island. There is scam. This peninsula, Mabini, they got some scams going on. Don't be fooled. Also, they are all holding, all of them, every single guy we walked to was holding old coins, like coins from 1802, 1804. They're all carrying old coins. Okay. Now these coins, they've got the ridges, like lines, and I know that back then coins didn't have lines. They were solid silver, and they had no lines. But they're trying to entice you to buy the coin. And we looked up the coins online, and we said, well, how much? Like, okay, this coin is worth $1,000 on the internet. Like, why are they trying to sell it for $30? Right? They're fake coins. Now, every guy has a different story about the coins. Okay. But one guy said that they made the rings out of the coins. That's BS. All right. And so I was just like, okay, not buying your story, but funny. Like, this is cute. The guy on the island that we went to, that guy said that his father found these coins in a ship that had sunk. I was like, wow, this is a real cool story. But I was just like, man, I hate liars, so I didn't really want to socialize with him. And I was just like, yeah, this is definitely a scam. What do you think about the scam?
I had more interactions with the guys. Are they trying to sell their wares for if you're a foreigner? Yeah, they are. Okay. They started with like 4,500 peso for a necklace and a bracelet combo, right? Jade, whatever. And then I was like, well, how do you know this is real? They're like, okay, they would rub the rocks against other rocks, and if this is not real, then the color would come off, but it's not coming off. Okay, that's good. That's pretty valid. Now, do I know if any of those rocks were actually real or fake? There's no way for me to say or to tell. I'm not a profession in that aspect of it. But what I can tell you is that as the day progressed, the cost for the bracelets and the necklaces went down significantly. So if I were to make a recommendation and you look at the ones that you like and just walk away, at the end of the day, the price will go down, like by 75%. So if they're trying to sell it to you for 4,500, it's gonna be 1,000 or less by the end of the day because these guys are trying to make money.
Well, one other thing was we were on a different side of the island, and a guy was selling his bracelets with the tiger eye for 100 peso.
A lot cheaper.
Like 100 peso, and we were like, oh, okay, yeah, we got that. All right, cool. Mental note. Then we got to where the resort was, and the prices were like 1,000 each.
Mhm.
And I was just like, no. Some other guy was selling it for 100. Hey, we know how much it's worth. Like, just stop already. Right? And so it's just like, but go on with your experience with these
Do I
with these
do I
guys.
knock them for it? No. Everyone's got to hustle. Those guys are hustling. Those guys make it or whatever, wherever they get it from, at a fraction of the cost, and they're trying to sell it to you. They're trying to peddle their wares, just like anyone else, would sell their vegetables or meat at the market. It's gonna be they're gonna have to make their cut. They're gonna have to make their money. So do I hate them for it? No. Um, in fact, I admire the fact that they're doing that. Why? Because they're not out there panhandling and asking you for money.
Mhm.
I appreciate the guys selling their wares. I appreciate the guys trying to make money. I appreciate the guys offering their hard work versus the individuals who are just putting their hand out and giving you a sob story saying that, hey, well, this is the reason why I am in poverty. Those guys, they're not telling you the reasons why they're in poverty. They're saying this is where the wares came from, and this is the story that they have. So everyone has a story, whether you buy into it or not. It's up to you. My recommendation is pick the one that you want. Wait till the end of the day to buy it. Right, walk away a few times, and the price is going to go down significantly. That's it.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was our experience with all the selling of the items and whatnot. When we finally did go to the second island, we didn't stop off. We just stayed off. Like, we parked away from the shore, and we went and we did some snorkeling. So, we stayed at that hotel for 3 nights, and then we packed up and we went more further south.
And you know what? One thing is, we had our puppies with us, we had our dogs with us, and they were very accommodating. They accommodated our puppies. They accommodated the amount of towels we needed. It was nice, and the balcony was the for the suite that we had was big enough to hold our puppies.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. What's up, Ed? Come on. What's up? Say hi to everybody.
Hi. So this is Himiko. She's our eldest daughter. You gonna say hi? You getting ready for bed? Yeah.
What's up? I don't know. I'll check into it when I get back there. Okay, just maybe move it somewhere else so it gets better Wi-Fi.
But also, can I do this?
What is that?
I found it in the thing.
Jamming?
It's chocolate. I think it's chocolate.
Oh, it's chocolate.
It's
taste.
too late at night, babe.
Yeah,
You should
too
just
late,
take that
yeah.
to school and
Sorry.
during the day.
You want? There's mangoes, fresh mangoes on the table. You gotta open them, cut them up. You might like it.
Yeah, that's sugary. Love you, baby. Mm-hmm.
Kids grow up really fast, and you know what? I think that it's the best decision that we've made was to come to Philippines and raise our kids because we get to spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, we
A lot of
do.
time. We wake them up in the morning. We get them ready for school. We pick them up at lunchtime. We eat lunch with them.
Yeah, we walk them to school. We walk them home from lunch.
We take them to school after lunch. We pick them up after school. We take them to dinner.
We got them
whatever,
with the whole weekend.
all the time. I mean, in the United States, it's like we didn't see our kids at lunchtime.
No, we worked the whole time from the minute we went to work till we got off. And our kids had to be in an after school program because we didn't see them almost till 6 o'clock at night.
And I'll tell you what, like there's a lot of things that are happening in the school system in the US, and none of that stuff is happening here.
Oh no.
There is no hidden agenda. There is nothing that you're worried about. If you ask, like I asked the teacher, like, what are you teaching? Shows me the curriculum. like, hey, this is what the kids are learning. Oh, okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you. I really
Mhm.
appreciate that. There's a lot of transparency here in Philippines, and you can be involved as involved as you want in the school system, or kind of like a standoffish, back off kind of thing.
Mhm.
So, um, since our kids are learning the language, the teachers have been kind enough to send additional homework home, so that way the teacher that works with them, tutoring them at home for the 1 hour each, has something to kind of like help them and work with them with. I'll tell you, we've only been here for what, 5 months?
Mhm.
5 months.
Yeah, 5 months.
4 months and some change, and my son reads very well in
Ilocano.
Ilocano. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and Spanish.
"Oh,
He can read
man,
Spanish.
this is cool."
Yeah,
And
but
so
he
does
reads
so
it.
does Himiko.
And our kids are reading English as well.
Mhm.
So, because everything's really taught in English at school, the English transition is not that hard. And yeah, it's the Ilocano that they're taking a little bit of time to kind of grab, but that's okay.
And that's Tagalog, yes.
And it's only been 5 months since they got here, so there's some promising,
Hmm. But moving on. Sorry, I digress. Moving
So
on to the trip. So after Altamira, where did we go?
I think we went further south and we drove and we didn't stop driving. And when we finally got a hotel, it was really late at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
What was our goal?
I don't know. What was our goal?
We didn't have a goal. We were just like, okay, where do you want to go today? I don't know. We'll just drive until we're tired. So that's exactly what we did. We drove until we were tired and found a hotel. Um, yes, when we found a hotel, that's where we stayed. And the waters were very choppy. The waters were very dirty. I
The
think
pool was too cold.
What was it called? What was
The room was tiny. Capitanes. But you know what? It was clean.
Capitanios. Yeah.
It was very Filipino.
Oh,
It was a very Filipino
the
accommodation.
best breakfast.
The best
we
breakfast.
had
the entire trip. The best breakfast. Those ladies could cook. And it was
It was very simple breakfast too.
delicious. Yeah, and that was a great place for our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They had enough area for our dogs to run around. We didn't even get a dog fee. And so all these other places are charging us $500 per dog a night. So it's $1,000 or 1,000 peso. It's $20 a night.
It was only Altamira. It was free at Capitanias, and then the next hotel was just a Coco Land, was just a deposit.
Oh, that's true. Coco Land just had us do a deposit, and they gave us our money back.
Mm-hmm.
But the lose. Okay, so let's finish telling you about Capitanes, which was a good stop.
It was just like, okay, it was one of those things where I just changed the tire. The tire just blew on the way down there. I just changed the tire. We drove probably another 2 hours, right? We were just like weaving in and out, like through mountains. After the mountainous area region was done and we were by the water, we just found a hotel. And so we stayed there in this tiny room.
Tiny room.
It was probably the cheapest room we had though, like a 2,200.
Like $40.
$40
for the whole night, all four of us.
It fit. It had a twin deluxe or queen, and then another pull-out bed.
A little pull-out bed. So all of us fit, even the dogs. Like we all made it work.
And their yard was great because our dogs kind of went out there and just.
The thing about the dogs is like they were finding their voice. So it's really hard to try and sleep when we're all in the same room. Because they are barking and barking and barking. And you have to take them out to go use the bathroom. And you can't just like leave them outside. There's not like a safe place. They might go out into the street. So it was actually kind of tough traveling with dogs.
Well, did we make it work? Yeah.
Yeah.
After the bathroom and the puppies still wanted to play, I kind of put them in the bathroom, closed the door. Because at that point, they didn't need to use the bathroom. They just peed, they just pooped, they just ate. And so I put the kennel in the bathroom, and they kind of bark and turn off the lights. But after 3 minutes of barking, they finally calmed down and went to sleep. And we all rested. We were so tired. My son crawled into bed and slept. That's all he did.
He never woke up until the next day.
Yes.
Later on. And breakfast was amazing there. So That was a good one. That was a good stop.
So breakfast was done. We packed everything up, and
When we
then
woke up in the morning, we went straight to the vulcanizing shop, and I did a live out at the vulcanizing shop. And we were in a new area. Was it still Batangas?
no, we were past. We passed Batangas.
Where were we? Were
I
we
don't
in
remember.
Bicol?
Close to, or in between Batangas and Bicol.
So we finally had some calendaria for breakfast. I mean, like, okay, so we had breakfast at the hotel.
I didn't.
So this time we're having so then we ended up stopping and having calendaria, and I fed my kids, and we had adobo, $2 total, and I got like bottles of water, got food, everything. It was like $2, and we all ate
except me.
except my husband was doing a tire, and
I was replacing the tire. The guy was so good. He was such a professional.
he charged us $4 for the whole tire change.
I think I'm very proficient, right? And so I took out the tires. Probably like, I don't know. It took me with the tools, getting it out of the back, and probably took me 7 minutes to take out it was a spare tire that was done, but I wanted to replace one of the tires that was on there because the tire pressure monitoring system was off, like it was broken or something. And so I was like, well, we'll take that one, put it back in here. Once it's done, I want to replace the tire monitoring system. I took off the tire, and while he was doing the vulcanizing shop, he was done vulcanizing the tire by the time I got the other tire off of the.
Yeah. So that's how we started our day. Was at the tire shop.
But he was nice. I mean, he was very good, very proficient. He was like such an amazing guy. I was talking to him about properties in the area, and he was telling me, he was like, right here where we are at, it costs about $4,000 per square meter to buy land right off the ocean and right off the road. So I was like, oh, that's not bad, because it's this whole entire time we were looking at properties. I was talking to locals, and I was like, hey, well, how much does it cost? I would say the lowest was probably 2,500 was the lowest, right?
For a beachfront?
For a beachfront property. And then the highest, right? The highest was the one over there in Batangas. And what was my calculation?
I don't know, but
13,000.
13,000 a square meter?
Per square meter, yeah. They were trying to sell us
a problem property.
No. But how big was it? 1,000.
I don't know.
1,500 square meter.
So we did go look at a property. Okay. It was oddly shaped. It was out in the middle of nowhere. And it seemed like there were problems on the left side of the property and the right side of the property. Mm-hmm. And the lines were not clear. The buildings that were going to be included in the sale was not clear. It was a mess. And the asking price, not worth it. Not worth it.
18?
23 or 27 million.
Yeah.
27 million peso for what they were trying to sell
equates to 13,000 per square meter.
And we were like, yeah, no thanks. Like it would, thank you, but no thank you. And so we left out of there, and it was good because it kind of gave us some new perspective, and it was a good like starting point to like understand the value of properties, maybe resorts or whatever. But as we're looking at stuff and we're kind of like getting our feet wet with like looking at properties, we've started to understand like what that's really worth. And it wasn't worth what they were selling it for. So, and no, we cannot afford a property that expensive, by the way. Yeah. No.
So just to give you guys some perspective on prices, 20 million peso is about $400,000 USD. And we don't have that kind of cash.
No.
We don't even have, not even close to that kind of cash. And they're asking for it. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not kind of like what I had in mind when we said we were going to buy some land and build. But then you're like buying somebody else's dream and trying to like make it fit your lifestyle. and it some of it just doesn't. It's not like it doesn't match up for us. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we did go look at properties while we were out there in that area.
What's the next spot?
The next spot was the Lose Lose Hotel.
It was the Win-Win Hotel, not the Lose-Lose Hotel.
So I call it the Lose Lose, and so do the
But
kids.
it's called the Win-Win
Okay.
Hotel.
Do not go there. I do not recommend the hotel. It's got the glitz and the glam. It's got the wow factor. You know, you drive up and you're like, wow, it's beautiful. It looks brand new. They've been in business for about a year. But yeah, I mean, they've got these massive pools. They got great pools. But the company itself, like their breakfast was horrible. Horrible. It was the worst breakfast I've ever
You gotta
had.
give it some context. You can't just say that. Like,
It was horrible.
Okay, so we got there late in the evening. Not late, probably 8 o'clock at night. We've been in contact. I've been in contact with a person on the phone, like, hey, this is this. The GPS and Google tells we went to 3 different locations. Finally, after the 3rd location,
We find the hotel.
Found the spot. So Google doesn't work all the time.
No, Google out here is not up to date, guys. Don't trust Google. It doesn't show you where everything is.
Yeah. So we called the place. We finally get the location. We get there. It was 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And they said, hey, we stopped serving dinner around 7. We're like, okay, that's fine. We're going to go somewhere else. They show us the room. They show us the gym. And I said, hey, can you put us in a room that's closer to the front, right? Because my intent was for us to stay there for a few days, right? Because it was like, wow, this is a great place. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna take advantage of the amenities. We're gonna see what this place is about. But the service and the attention to detail was so bad that we were like, the next day in the morning, we were like, we're taking off.
We got to get out of
We
here.
gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
I can't stay here.
Okay, so as soon as we checked in, I think we left the puppies in the room, and then we went to go get something to eat.
Yeah, but there was dead bugs all over the floor. Like this room had dead bugs everywhere. And when we walked in, I had to kill at least 100 bugs. And in the Philippines, I'm okay with like dealing with bugs. That's not a problem. Like I can kill bugs all day long.
Literally 100 bugs.
But there was so many bugs, and there were so many dead ones. Like and there was cobwebs up in the top. I mean, this is like supposed to be a nice hotel.
But we didn't notice these things until we came back the second time after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, we'll just drop off the puppies. We'll get them here, drop off the luggage, and we're good to go.
The internet didn't work in that room, by the way.
Yeah, it didn't work. So it was just all bad. One, I was like, you have 200 doors, 200 rooms, and you can't put us in the front one. That's kind of a signal to me.
Like a red flag.
Red flag. 2 was like, we were in the back. They had to turn on the back lights, right? And I was like, okay, all right, sounds good. 3, the bugs. We came back, kind of like went through the whole night, whatever. And then I had to request for additional towels.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But we couldn't request for additional towels until we were in the room. They're like, oh, we'll give you the additional towels when you guys get in your room. We're like, okay, sounds good. Well, can you just give us additional towels now? We're here in the front. I'm staying in this room. Whatever.
No.
It didn't happen. So we left, went to go get something to eat. We came back. And then we showered.
Well, even security wouldn't let us go through the door. We had the key and we're like, can we come in? And they're like, no, we need to get you cleared. And we're like,
we have to check with the front office.
So we sat in our car.
Like, here's the key. It's got Coconut. I mean, it's got Win-Win Hotel on it. But
can we get to our room? It's late at night. We're ready to go to bed. No. So that was weird.
So the lady came out kind of like, oh, I recognize you. Okay, you guys can go. Yes, they are good to go. Whatever. No issues. So the next day, we get up, ordered breakfast, right? Went to the front. There's families eating together, like by the service desk, right? And they asked us, what do you guys want to eat? Do you guys want to eat poolside? We have cabanas and we have all these things. We're like, all right, sounds good. We'll go out there and order cabanas. Okay. We get there and we order the food there already. How many do you want? And Dee says, oh, we want 2 coffees and we want water and we want 4 breakfasts. Well, you took over.
Well, they took at least an hour to get us the 2 coffees. They brought a plate for breakfast.
Two.
They brought 2 plates for breakfast. It was spam that came from like a weird can. It was like a
It
spam.
wasn't a square one.
Yeah, it
Or
wasn't like
rectangular
regular
spam.
spam. It was like some other kind of spam. And it had 1 egg, some spam and rice, and that was it. Okay.
Covered
Uh,
up in a
with a
saran
napkin.
wrap.
Oh yeah, it was covered up in saran wrap, and the food was cold. And okay, whatever. We ate it. It wasn't great. Hobart promised me he'd take me somewhere else to go eat breakfast. I got over it. They charged us extra. There's 4 of us in the room, but they charged us extra $380 a
Piso.
plate. Piso for the other breakfasts. 380 peso. Like that's a lot of money, especially for that breakfast. I could probably get that breakfast for 100 peso. So
Well, it's
that
not just that.
is like
It's like
disappointing.
they brought in 2 plates, and then my wife says, "Hey, where's our coffee?" Right?
Yeah, they
When they
never.
brought when they finally the person kept going back and forth and kind of stopping our table. These like, "Hey, can you bring us water?" So finally, the person brought the coffee, but didn't have the water.
And they didn't bring creamer.
And they didn't bring creamer. So we're like, hey, can we get some utensils? Right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
our breakfast didn't have any utensils at all. So they finally brought the utensils, right? And when they brought the utensils, we requested for some more water. The person apologized and says, I apologize. I'm the only person here. Dee says, okay, can we get one more breakfast? Because my kids are hungry. So they brought the water with the last breakfast. And then 1 minute later, they brought a fourth breakfast, right?
Yeah, it was just like, okay, sure, whatever. Right? So then we dealt with that. Finally, the kids are in the pool. We need towels. So I go over and I ask them, I say, hey, can I get towels? And they said, don't you have towels in your room? And I said, yeah, for when I get out of the shower after the pool. And then they were like, so you want more towels? I was like, yeah, can I get some towels for the pool? And then the lady came up to me with the towels and she says, this is going to be 100 peso each. And I was like, okay. And so I was just like, we wanted to use the floaties that they have. They have a bunch of floaties over there. And they were like, that's 100 peso each as well. Okay. So I'm telling Hobart, we need to get the heck out of here. We need to leave. And we reserved Coco Land. So glad we left. We reserved Coco Land. As soon as we reserved Coco Land, they come up to us by the pool. We're the only people staying at this hotel. And they say, hey, we have a villa available. Did you want to stay there tonight? And we said, no. I'm getting the heck out of here. Couldn't leave fast enough. We had already reserved a villa in Coco Land. And I'm so glad we went to Coco Land. But when it was time to leave this hotel, the lose hotel, don't ever go there. Do
The
not
one-word
go there.
hotel.
Don't go there, guys. I'm telling you. When we finally left, they wrote my charges like on a little crumpled up piece of paper. They said, this is how much you owe. And I said, do you guys take cash or card? Only cash. Okay. Well, I want a real receipt. I want a folio. And then they were like, oh. And so the lady, she like had to take 20 minutes to make me a receipt because they didn't have us in the system. It seemed to me like they were going to pocket all that cash. So,
but we don't know, right? This is all assumption based off of our
this
experience.
is my speculation.
Being handed a piece of paper with handwritten note on it, except and not having a folio. Finally, we got the folio at the end, right? And then when we were checking out, they had the nerves to say, "Wait, What's the term they use?
Everybody uses this term around here. Something about like wait a while.
Oh yeah, a
For
while.
a
For a
while.
while. For a
For a
while.
while.
And so what they did, just that hotel, they went to the room and checked the room
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that I don't know whatever they checked,
That we didn't
but
take
they wouldn't take
something, that everything
anything.
was there. Yeah, so they didn't let us leave until they proved the
That the
room
room
cleared.
wasn't finished, like missing a furniture or anything like that. But yes, they had to check the room in order for us to actually check out. Once they checked the room, we stayed there another 5-10 minutes, and then we finally got out of there. We couldn't get out of there fast enough. We were like, "Come on, guys, let's get out of here." It left a bad taste in our mouth. But unfortunately, in that area, it is one of the only places that allows
Pets.
dogs or pets. So
Right, because there were some other really great resorts that looked like from their website. I was like, oh, I want to stay here or I want to stay there. And we would call them and they'd say, sorry, we don't take pets. So it's kind of like when you have pets, you have to make accommodation for them. And so, yeah, that was a bad hotel.
all right. So moving on, we went to Coco
Coco Land.
Land. So again, we didn't have a goal. We didn't have a goal. I wanted to drive as far as I could on the island and kind of seeing the water and say, hey, well, this is the end of the island. The next island, you have to get on a boat or whatever, a charter. We didn't get to do that, but we ended up in Nara area, right? Which
Oh,
is in
yeah.
Batangas. We had
Was it Naga?
Naga. Is it okay?
Yeah, it was
Naga, yeah.
Naga.
Naga. It was nice. It was beautiful.
I like that area.
But we ended up going to another province in Coco Land. I think Coco Land is in a different province, but
Bicol.
no, it's a different area.
Oh, I don't know.
But it was nice. It was beautiful. Coco Land had the wow factor. We had our own pool in our backyard, like our
Yeah,
own private
infinity
pool
pool.
in our backyard. They had an additional large general pool in the front. They had like a wedding area where you ate breakfast, and they had karaoke, which this one.
I got to indulge in some karaoke. It was nice. It was so relaxing. So much so that I never even took the time to read their little pamphlet that's on, the table or whatever. I was just enjoying it. Hi, thank you to who was out there and giving us the likes and the hearts. Thanks for joining us. So I was just like really enjoying this day. Now, hi Heidi. Hello.
Hi, Heidi.
Something happened. I went to take a shower and there was no hot water. Yeah, I was singing karaoke. Bad habits and probably lost boys. So, went to take a shower and there was no hot water. And so I was like, okay, this is the Philippines. I can deal with no hot water. I can deal with that. And I told my husband, I told the kids, like, hey, there's no hot water.
So the kids went in there, took showers, cold water, right? Then I took a shower last because I was taking care of the puppies. I was like, guys, that water was so hot. Oh my goodness! All you have to do is turn it to the left all the way. And they were like, "What? No! I took a cold shower for no reason." But I said, "I'm just kidding, guys. I didn't have any hot water. It's really cold."
So
water.
he took a cold shower too.
We all took a cold shower, but the pamphlet in the room.
Well, so I wanted to get to this later. Can I keep? Let's do a cliffhanger.
Okay, cliffhanger. Okay, so the first breakfast we got there, right? Here is no, actually, it was dinner.
It was dinner. Dinner was phenomenal.
Dinner
Oh
was
my
great.
god!
I mean, these ladies in the no, it was the guys. It was a guy.
I will be dreaming about that Tinola for the rest of my life.
So good,
yes.
Good. And homegirl over here. Of course, we're in a coconut place, right? She's like,
it's called Coco Land.
Coconut juice. And the server's like, I'm sorry, we don't have any coconut juice.
I'm like, what? There's coconuts everywhere.
Coconut juice. We stopped doing that. Right. And so here's
I was like, you guys don't even have a ginataan? Like nothing?
She's like complaining. She's probably saying like this place is no better than Win-Win Hotel.
Oh my god,
okay, there's a surprise. And the very next day, this server she went to breakfast. She ate her breakfast by herself because the kids and we stayed up a little bit later. But the server came to our room, knocked on the door, and says, I had the guy climb a coconut tree and get a coconut for you. Your coconut juice is ready. Do you want it now or do you want it over there at the table? I thought that that was amazing. Coco Land went out of their way to accommodate a request that they don't even serve, right? And so these guys were going hands and knees to make sure that our stay there
It was great.
was awesome.
Yeah.
How many? We just one night or two?
We stayed there for 2 nights, I think. And so the way they make the breakfast, it was like our kids didn't want the fried egg. So then I was like, hey, can you guys make some scrambled eggs? And no questions asked, no extra charge. They went and scrambled the eggs.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, my kids can finally eat now. We're all good. Everybody's belly is full. We're happy.
Yeah. So they went hands and knees, and their internet was pretty good. They had Starlink.
Starlink,
So my boy
Elon, thank
Elon
you
Musk
for
came
hooking
through.
it up.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty fast. It was what we needed, and the kids thoroughly enjoyed it. We all got in the pool. We all kind of enjoyed the amenities.
It
that
was
they had.
great. I loved it. It was so relaxing.
But we wanted to see the ocean. So as soon as we were done, we
Mhm.
checked out.
And we checked out
We
late.
checked out really late.
We were
probably like an hour and a half late.
way late.
But it was, this was like Christmas spirit, and Dee was in a giving mood.
I was in a very giving mood. I had envelopes.
Yeah. And so after we were done at Coco Land,
Well, before we left,
Mm.
I took the time to read the pamphlet.
oh yeah, that's right.
It says that they don't have a TV on purpose. Okay, I could dig that. That they don't do internet on purpose, but if you wanted to have internet, you can pay a fee, and we did. We paid a fee, 50 peso. That's fine.
Well,
And
they
don't.
had free internet in the common areas.
Oh, in the
which is
common
at the
area,
restaurant,
at the restaurant,
and the pool areas, but not in the rooms.
Mm.
Go ahead, sorry.
And that they don't have hot water. But that wasn't a problem because they offered a kennel, like a kettle inside the room that you can use to warm your water. And there's a bucket. And so you can have yourself a tabo warm bath. I missed that whole piece. I should have read that when I first got there, because then my kids would not have to freeze.
But was it difficult to take a shower?
No,
it's not.
And it was warm enough.
Research shows that it's good to take cold showers every now and then. Shocks your body. So it was good. It was nice. So we drove that day. We wanted to get to the water, so we did. We looked at some properties while we were along the coast. Looked at 2, 3, and we walked through a house. Now this house was owned by an American.
Oh yeah,
he's from Florida.
He was an elderly gentleman.
Yeah,
he was
gentleman.
60. What? How old was he?
60, 68,
60 something. So he invited us into his house. So actually, this is how it went. We went down that way and we're looking around. We're kind of just like asking the locals, like, "Hey, does anybody sell property out here? How much is it for square footage out here?" Right? And then, anybody know of any property that's for sale right now? And so we're out. He's out there asking. He's speaking Tagalog, and we're doing our best to communicate with the locals. And I mean, this is untouched island. Like, this is untouched, uninhabited. Like, it's all, the little houses that are made with sticks and stuff. Okay. And so I'm telling him, like, hey, there's no grocery stores around here. There's nothing around here. Like, maybe this land is for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so we're looking around. There's no resorts. It's right on the water. The water's calm, clear, no waves, nothing. It's like picturesque. All right. Start talking. We find a kagawad. Okay. The kagawad of
Kagawad.
The kagawad.
Ex-kagawad.
Oh, she was the ex-kagawad? Well, she was wearing a kagawad shirt. So we found the right person. And she introduced us to a bunch of people in the area. So we met the people and we started kind of like exchanging numbers. Hobart was starting to know the locals. And as we're looking at property, we see a Caucasian man. And we said, "Hi, hey, nice house you got there." And he says, "Oh yeah, it's for sale." And I said, "Oh well, we're looking to be neighbors, right?" And he's like, "Well, you want to buy this one?" We're like, "Well, let's go take a look. Let's see your house." And so then we made a friend out by the ocean. So go ahead and tell them.
We walked through this house, beautiful home. Yeah, I'm like, wow. The wow factor was there.
Oh yeah.
Made out of wood, concrete, put a whole bunch of like H beams or I beams, like solid foundation. He was selling it for 18 million, right? And I said, well, how much did you buy the land for? He said, I bought the land for 2.5 million. And I said, whoa. But he's like, but if you wanna buy the land next door, it's being sold right now. It's about the same size as his lot. And it was like a 12-meter frontage, I think. And they were selling it for 400,000 peso.
So it's
And
pretty
it was
affordable.
pretty affordable. But
Ish.
I was kind of reluctant because I know tax declaration and I know title, right? But these guys were talking about rights. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, rights? What is that? Like, how do you? They're like, you don't pay taxes on it. It's basically a document written in the barangay, which is the local government, and that you have that property, that they're letting you stay in that property. Basically, that's what rights is. So there's a possibility that you can build something on there, but then
Like it can be taken
it can be
away
taken
in
away
the
from you.
future. I don't know. So rights is a little foreign to us, and so we're not sure how to navigate it. But we've been running into a lot of people who have rights as
Right.
opposed to having title or
Tax
declaration.
declaration, yes. And so that's interesting to us. But we stayed there for about 3 hours talking to the locals,
Mm-hmm.
and then we drove back. It was nice. It was,
Mm-hmm.
on our way back to where did we stay?
We didn't stay anywhere. We
drove
drove the
13 hours.
entire way home.
Yeah. So we left. We started driving around 4 p.m., 4:30, and we got home at 2, I think.
Yeah, and the beauty
2, 3
about the Philippines, something I love about the Philippines. Maybe some people might hate this, but I love this about the Philippines. I like that you can like pull over and pee anywhere. Okay? You don't have to go into a restaurant or a business to use the bathroom. You can like literally park your car and pee on the side of the road anywhere you want at any time in front of a security guard, in front of a cop. You just go pee. It's okay. So I love that about the Philippines. Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. And then we drove back all the way home, and then we got like a couple of days before the New Year started, actually.
Right. And had I known that school was not going to be like fully engaged, we may have continued to ride down that go all the way to the tip of the island because that was our goal, but we didn't make it because we ran out of time.
Mm-hmm. And so when we got back, we took our kids to school, and then there was only like 3 kids in class.
And our kid
And
was
our kids-
number 3.
Yeah.
So there's 2 other kids that went to school, and it was like, okay, well, what are the kids doing in school?
Yeah.
And they weren't doing any like curriculum.
But what was beautiful though is that the teacher gave extra homework,
Mhm.
so that way the tutor can work with our kids.
Yeah, that was nice. So at least we have the tutor coming in the evenings so that our kids could continue to get school.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a whole week of no school, even though school was supposed to be in session. So that was kind of weird. Yeah, we would have stayed out longer had we known that that was the cultural thing to do and it was acceptable and okay.
Yeah. But it was good that we made it back because then we got to spend time New Year's with family.
Yeah.
We got to kind of like just relax, focus, unpack, wash the clothes, put everything away, and get ready for our next adventure.
Yeah, and it was fun. New Year's was a lot of fun. There was fireworks. We spent time with family. And, like the family we have out here is really, really nice. It's really great to have family. You can call up, ask questions about like the local area and, get their ideas on how do we pay a bill? How do we do this? How do we do that? And they always can kind of guide us. And so we really like to have family. It's nice.
It is nice. So, is there anything else you want to add?
No, do you have anything to add?
No, I really have nothing.
Yeah, so that
else to
was
add.
our trip, guys. Yeah, I see Heidi's in the room. Shout out to Heidi. She says good morning, and she's laughing about the karaoke situation. Mitch is in here as well, throwing up some hearts. And let me see. Hobart speaking Tagalog, and she's laughing. Okay, because Hobart is Ilocano.
Yeah, I speak Ilocano and Tagalog. I used to speak Pangalatot, but I dropped that when I was learning English.
Yeah, but how good is your Tagalog?
I can get around.
Like, yeah.
Yes, I can definitely get around.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good. I mean, like, is my Spanish better than your Tagalog?
yes, definitely.
Really?
Your Spanish is definitely better than my Tagalog, but my Ilocano can probably hang with your Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. So our core language is really, really strong.
Yeah, but my Tagalog is like I can get around and I can kind of like ask the word that I'm looking for, but it's been a while. And the thing is, my mind processes things in English now, not in Ilocano. or Tagalog.
Right.
So when I dream in English, not Ilocano. Or
I
Tagalog.
dream in Spanish sometimes, which is
Yeah.
so wild and crazy. And so is my French
Parlez-vous français?
mon français equivalent to your Tagalog? Or
No, your French is whack.
Bonjour, je parle français. Je t'ai entendu. Comme allez-vous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Como está cá? Oh wait,
So
I'm speaking
Heidi's-
Ilocano
yeah.
or Tagalog.
Heidi says her Tagalog is Tanglish. Tagalog English.
Together. You know what? You can get away with English in the Philippines. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. But there is a language barrier.
Yes, definitely. So, okay, this is something that I want to cover. There are certain things that Filipinos say that maybe if you're coming here, you have to get used to, right? So, through text message, the one thing that I catch is they say noted. You know, like when you're
Like acknowledged.
like I acknowledge. Instead of saying I acknowledge or I understand, they say noted, which is kind of irritating to me. It because it doesn't have a positive connotation. Like when you say duly noted, it's like I hear you, but I don't care. You know what I mean? When people say noted, that's exactly what it sounds to me, even though the definition says they acknowledge. So just be aware of that. And then the other thing is that we talked
They say
about it
for
already.
a while.
For a while.
For a while.
Which means
ma'am. Or
wait
sir.
for a
For a while,
second.
sir.
Yeah,
They
for
call
a
me
while.
sir or
Yeah.
him ma'am, and or they say sir ma'am.
Yeah, sir, ma'am. But they say for a while instead of
please wait.
please
Or
wait.
one moment, please,
One
sir.
moment,
I'll get
please.
to you
Yeah.
in a second.
They say for a while. And it's
For a
like,
while.
like you go to Jollibee and they're like, for a while. Well, what?
For a while, what?
I don't understand.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Or like instead of saying takeout, you have to say
go.
it's to go.
To go.
No.
So they say so we say to go, they say take out.
Oh yeah. And we like, oh, it's to go. And they're like, takeout? Yeah. So there's some kind of like language. Like there's so much language miscommunication, even though like maybe they understand, but they don't.
Yes. So there's always, even in translation, like sometimes I have to translate for her, and it's hard. I'm like, I can't even find a translation for that. I don't know.
He's
what the
like,
word is for that.
there's no words for that.
There's no word for that. So, all right, guys. Well, this is it. Thank
good
you
night,
for joining
guys.
us. Good night.
We're having fun here in the Philippines.
In the U.S. We hope that you guys are safe.
Yes. Stay warm out there.
Warm. It's warm over here. I can't believe we just went through winter.
Winter's over.
The entire
and
time.
It's hot now.
Yeah. So
puppies are growing. Kids are doing amazing. Good night.